my channel. This is Jackie from Jangle Art and Design, welcoming all janglers to come and jangle with me. That's what I call my crafting, jangling. I will explain the term jangle to you in a while, but first I want to say that this will not be such a long video. Hopefully it's a tutorial video, but we're going to make a dangle similar to this dangle. Why it is so large is because this is a bulky journal I'm making for a friend of mine, and the dangle had to stand out, so a small dangle wouldn't do it for me. So I invented my own large dangle, calling it the Saucer Dangle. So we are going to make a saucer dangle today. I already pre-cut the circles, one intentionally smaller because I made a mistake with my circle cutter. And you can also see I already glued the images on here. I'm using the scraps and bits I have left over of the Visions of Nightshade kit by Stacy of Crafty Dragon Creations. And I made a journal, and this dangle is going to be attached to my journal. So I usually print on printing paper, and then if I need to use cardstock, then I glue it to cardstock. So I only use cardstock minimally. Then I just want to show something to you, especially because my channel is aimed at beginners in crafting. Something that I really needed that I did not even knew existed was a circle cutter. And this is a fabulous tool once you get to know how to work it properly. It takes a bit of exercise, but it does cut decent circles. This side has got the measurement in inches and in centimeters, and it is the radius measurement. And this side it's like a little scope or telescope or microscope, but it doesn't enlarge. It just gives you that type of view. And at the bottom is a little cross, and you put that on the middle point of the center point of the circle, and then you press down on this part to keep it steady, and then you would turn this arm around till you have cut your circle. So it all depends on what the measurement of your radius will be. The radius for those who have not been using math as recently as myself, it's many years ago, so the radius is actually from the center point to the side. And I just wanted to show this to you. I purchased this from Temu. I know not many people are excited about Temu, but I actually couldn't afford the ones that are imported from designer companies to South Africa due to our rand dollar exchange. So I had to use an alternative. And this cutter works perfectly. I don't have any problems with it, so I'm sticking with this. Okay, you can see my circles laid out here. So I already made holes. I didn't punch holes. I made holes with one of my long needles. These long needles, but you'll see there's a bit of wax built up because sometimes I stir my wax when I make wax seals with it. But I made the holes with that. You could also use an ice pick. It's got a very sharp point. It's actually much better, but it's a dangerous tool, so just work cautiously with that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take fishing line, and I'm going to choose some beads, and then I'm going to string the dangle cards with the beads and make a dangle. It's as easy as that. And I just wanted to show it to you. I bought myself a lot of beading equipment many years ago, and I never made one thing. My children actually had to teach me the ropes. So sometimes we see that people have got beading dangles, and we actually don't know what to use or what and how. And the other thing is that not all beads have got nice large holes. And being my age, and using reading glasses, the small holes are difficult to string, and to get the right type of um, product or to use, because the yarn is too thick, and the yarn for sewing is too thin, and it won't hold this dangle intact for very long. And the elastic, I don't like the elastic. It's also not strong enough. So I prefer if we go to small, but beads with small holes, I prefer this. So we can begin our dangle. So I'm beginning at the bottom and moving towards the top. And I will be using, well, I have no idea what the beading crafters call this, but I just call it a stopper. It stops the beads from actually falling out. But before I go any further, we have to make a knot at the bottom. So what I do, and it's just the way I do it, it's nothing I learned from anybody, and it's most probably not the best way to do it, but I make a few knots. And then when I've completed the dangle, then I take my glue gun and I glue the stopper to the knot. That part I'm not going to show you because my glue sticks are depleted, and I've only got large glue sticks left over, and which was my husband's glue gun, which is now broken, which I did not break. Um, uh, so I can't actually use them in the glue gun, and they make a mess when you heat them up with the candle. So the glue gun stick turns black, and I don't want that mess on this. So I'm just going to make a few knots, and then when you glue gun it with a stopper, then it is quite strong enough to hold the dangle. So there we've got the stopper. The stopper actually holds a bead. So we will not use the largest bead, as this one is not, this is not a large stopper. So I'm going to put a small bead at the bottom, not minute, just small enough to fit into the stopper. So we're going to string the beads. And then you can see this bead goes and sits nicely in the stopper, and it looks neat. And when you glue this together, you can cut off this part, and it won't actually be such a visually ugly piece of fishing line in your that keeps on popping around. It will just be out of your way, and so on. So I expect this is going to take a long time, so I will most probably speed up the video, and so that you don't have to sit and watch for hours, but I'm going to continue the process. I haven't even decided. I just put a few beads together, so this is no fancy pattern of beading. I don't want to do patterns. I just want to do it as colorful as the images. When I look at this little warm house, it's the Making Memories house, I call it. There are blues and purples and a bit of orange and green and a bit of white and so on. So I'm just going to go with the mixed colors and do it the same as the images, because I don't have that variety of the same beads, and in the end the pattern won't work out. So this is just going to be fun and colorful and large and small, and it's not supposed to be like a string of pearls. It's supposed to be fun and funky and a bit of craziness, and you can make it look all like uh, a piece of jewelry, but I don't want it to look like a piece of jewelry. I want it to look like fun. And then I've got this. I could add this at the bottom, also in between if I wanted to. But now I put the stopper there, so I don't think we're going to use that one. So let's see. Let's take some blues out of here and put them through the string. I've got no idea how many beads I intend to put between the dangles. If I look at my journal, yes, that will depend on the length of your journal, size of your journal. And so if you're making a mini journal, you will use less beads and less sources and smaller sources by all means. You don't want your dangle to be larger than life. And then you measure it. I haven't measured it yet. I'm going to take out my journal now, but just look at this fun way I've done it. It's not, and now I'm going to do something totally different. I just took out a few beads. I didn't even count them. I'm not going to count the beads and decide 10 blues or 4 purples or whatever. I'm just going to just go with my instincts and have fun. So this was the journal I made, Butterfly Charm, which is also part of the Visions of Nightshade kit. And so I've got this dangle on the front, but I need a larger than life dangle to put inside. So it's going to work inside. It's not just going to be an outside decoration. It's actually going to be like a bookmark that I can use in my journal. So let's measure it. We're going to need about this size, make it a bit longer. Okay, we're going to use about this. I'm going to measure it now so that we remember when to stop. I'm going to measure it in centimeters. I don't have an inches ruler. It looks like 30 centimeters. So I don't think my other ruler has got inches. No, I'm sorry. I will I will convert the centimeters to inches and put it for you in the description box. Okay, so now I think we start to need adding a saucer. So I decided this one was going to be the bottom saucer. Okay, they are colored on both sides with pieces of the kit. So there's our first. I accidentally got a knot in here, and this is not going to go well with a knot in there. So many of you may wonder why I call my channel Jangle Art and Designs. So being from Africa, jangle has got a very special meaning to me. The African women love to wear bangles or on their arms, and they also have them around their necks, but it's actually about the bangles on the arms. And these bangles, when touching each other, when they use their hands or sing and dance or clapping their hands or cooking, these bangles make a noise, a sound. Sorry for the interruption, but my camera decided to shut down again, so I had to take care of the hiccups, and I'm just going to string the dangles, the dangle further with any fun colors I defined, and that also blends in well with the kit. I don't have a wide variety of beads, so I will have to use every bit of funkiness I have to make this dangle be spectacular, look spectacular. But I've got something in my hand that hasn't got a hole, so I have to assume that it's not a bead. Let's put in this fun bead, this little heart. Oh, I dropped it and got it back. So I'm just going to continue with the process, and then I will speed up this part and we're not going to chat any longer. And then when I return, I will show you how I end off the dangle. There we are at the top of the dangle. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I think it's quite nice, and it's rather huge, but that even makes it more fun. And it truly complements the Nightshade kit. Please remember to go to Crafty Dragon Creations Etsy shop. There is a 30% discount on the Nightshade kit till the end of June, and there are lovely things that you can create with it. So I hope you enjoyed watching me with this, making this dangle, my first ever dangle tutorial. So I'm going to end it off. I intend to use one of these stoppers again. If you have a better name for it, please comment it in the comments. so that I can also enrich my knowledge of beading. Oh, I just want to see, is this one going to fit in there? Yeah, it would. So I'm also going to glue these two together with a glue gun. Then it just keeps the whole dangle in place and the beads don't move around. And I'm going to end it with a knot so that it does not, the beads don't come spilling out of the dangle. And then I will be making an eyelet inside my journal, and I will still decide how I'm going to attach this to the journal. That I haven't decided yet. Sometimes because it's fishing line, it's like I don't know if it's going to work so well just putting it through the punched hole with the eyelet, because these knots can loosen, and I don't want a lot of glue gun goo all over the dangle. So I'm just going to think about how I'm going to add it there, and when I've figured that out, in the next video I will just refer back to that and show you how I added it. But I suppose I will maybe be using a pin, one of these little pins, but again then the knot has to be tight and it shouldn't open up, and these knots aren't that great. They tend to open up. So maybe if I attach a little bit of glue there from the glue gun, then it will work. And I can just attach this through the eyelet. So here is the end result. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you make super funky dangles. So when I completed the dangle, I showed you that it was too long. So I decided I will change my video and show you what I did. So I went and I took off 2 saucers and the beads with them, and then I just left a few beads at the top. And so it's just, the size is just right now. So I haven't glue gunned the stoppers yet, but I put a bit of glue gun here just to see if this will hold. It's just a test, an experiment. If it holds, then I will I will leave it like that, or otherwise I will try something new, ask my husband for an idea or so on. But I then remembered about my rings I have, so I took this ring, it clips open, and I tucked it into one of the knots, and then put some glue, gun glue on it that I melted with my candle, and it seems to be holding nicely into place. So I did strengthen this, but I see it's not sturdy enough, so I will go and re-strengthen this with cardboard and do the eyelet over, because I don't want it to tear out. But so you should make sure that the page on which you do the eyelet is strengthened. I did strengthen it with cardboard and inked it, but it's not sturdy enough, so I will have to I think I will have to use 4 small pieces of cardboard, not cardboard, cardstock, and then do the eyelet, the hole in the eyelet through it. And then just the ring is actually the best thing to hold your dangle into place. And then when I close my journal, I can still have it on the outside. And when I'm writing or just wanting to keep the page open, I can just let it lie down there. It's a bit huge for this journal. I think for this journal it should have been a bit smaller. I can still cut the circle smaller, but for a chunkier journal, I would I would go with this size, because then it absolutely rounds it off well, and it looks in proportion. I don't like the very small dangles with a bulky um journals. It doesn't fit well together for me. And I could have put it in here in the plastic. I could have made a hole in an eyelet there, which also would work. So maybe I'll change it, but this is just to show you that it can actually work. You see, it's chunky, but then you can bend and fold these saucers a bit, and then they flatten over a while. Then you get them like this in your journal. So, and it works. I use my journals like this. And to me, this is fun. When I look at it, it just gives me joy and it fills me with laughter. So, sometime I will tell you if I did decide to change it and add it onto the cover instead of in the book. But that's then all saucer dangling for today. And being my first tutorial, I apologize for all the hiccups, and just going to accept it as a huge learning curve. But it was fun showing you this, and I just liked the moments to chat a bit and so on. I think I will do more little tutorials in between, just so that we can chat a bit, and you can learn more about me and more about what I do and so on. And it would be great if you could exchange some ideas or react in the comments of what you think about this humongous dangle. And if you think it's over the top, I won't be offended. It's over the top for this journal, but I still love it. So I can just as well add it to another journal. Who knows? But anyway, this is it for today. Have a lovely weekend and happy crafting. Keep jangling your crafting from your heart.